Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the AOR GT3 Pro Season 5 Round 3 here at the Azure Circuit, otherwise known as Monaco. My name is King-Kodiak and I will be your commentator for this evening's race. Qualifying has just started, so 15 minutes of quali has begun, and as you can see, I have finally got the standings overlay working, and through a bit of jiggery-pokery, I have the rest of the overlay functioning correctly as well. Now then, so you can see who is with us. We have RT147 now, Nano, Jan Decoy, Attila, it's not a name I've seen before. Attila is running the roof. You can hear a few people banging against the walls already. We have Zip Plumber, Esteban Viso, myself listed currently in 7th. We have Brax 110. We have Mr. Alcon, Infected Space. Now 11th isn't appearing in the overlay because there was a funny character in the name, and it is Aleste here in the Aston Martin. Worn tyre in 12. He's in June 13th. I'm just moving a window around, which is going to cause the stream to temporarily halt. I do beg your pardon. Bear with me whilst I just sort that particular part out. Apologies. Back into the action then. So if he's at Neptune, we have Rito 7105. Seri has joined us. He is currently listed in 15th. He is also in the Aston Martin. We just saw somebody there stranded at the Nouvelle Chicane. That's another bang we can hear. We have Branderos, Hamish Sopwith, Klavutsky, last week's runner, Japar H, or Japar, Pan, Vice Guy, and Gibbs. Vice Guy returning to us in this season. And do we have anybody on a hot lap? Looks like Relo is on one as he has just got to Casino. I am fairly familiar with my corner names for here at Monaco. I will try my best to not get them wrong. But, as is always the case with me, I can't guarantee it. So, I have got the window all wrong again. I'm sorry. Okay, so, is anyone on a hot lap? Is anyone? It sounds like we're having a hell of a lot of impact going on. Now, because this track is so narrow, El Nano is the first to get a lap on the board. Because this track is so narrow and a lot of impact is potentially going to go on, the reset to track option. Whoa, was someone hurtling around? Do we have a bugged car, I wonder? Might be why there is a lot of impact going on. And why someone appears in bed in the ball. I think we have a very laggy car there, it would seem. That's going to cause a bit of concern, I think, if that lag is genuine to anyone else, or it's just unique to my position. Oh, and there we go. You see, Relo just got essentially bounced by that heavily damaged, well, what would appear to be a very heavily damaged Z4. That could be interesting. See if we can figure out who that actually is. Unfortunately, I can't remember off the top of my head who runs in Z4s. So if we can find out who that is. Is it Jan Decoy? It is! Jan Decoy, for some reason, is having horrific lag issues. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, hopefully he can sort his stuff out. As you can see, he's just appearing and disappearing all over the place. That is going to cause no end of hassle if that is not resolved. And, well, you can see the evidence for yourself. Okay. Up to the top then, let's see where we are when it comes to time. Is Japar currently on the top spot with a 1:31.580. He's just coming out of the pits now. Now, also something else to bear in mind here. Unfortunately, it's been realised that, as you can see, the yellow line there, which is the standard pit exit, the game has a habit of giving a cut track penalty if drivers try to obey it. So what's been agreed for this race specifically is that drivers will come out of the pit lane and attempt to take turn 1 in the normal fashion. Now that is of course going to require extra observance from the drivers currently on track and extra communication from those coming out of the pits. But Japar currently in pole. Oops, and that's one of the McLarens embedding itself in the wall at a Mirabeau. And Mirabeau is a Mirabeau Hort and Mirabeau Basse. Mirabeau Basse is the tail end of that particular corner before Portier. Gepard just coming through tunnel down to excuse me, down to the Nouvelle Chicane and cuts the Nouvelle Chicane, but that is an outlap for him, so that's not really going to make a great deal of difference. In second at the moment in the Aston Martin is Warren Tyre. He's just coming through the swimming pool complex down towards turns 15 and 16 on down to Rascasse. Still hearing that Z4 bouncing around the walls. Klavotsky in the Aston, I believe he is. Oh no, there he is. He's in the Z4. Just coming out of the pit lane. Sounds like a construction site going on with the amount of impact we're hearing. So Klavotsky currently in third in the Z4 with a 1:31.860. Fourth is Branderos, the sole M3 runner. 1:32.158, just coming round. He's just gone through Rascasse, just going through the final two corners down to begin a hot lap, one would assume. Let's just see if he's going to set a time here. So no, we can assume he is starting a hot lap now. Gibbs, good effort, sirs. Hopefully he has better luck. He's right in the middle of some traffic here and just touches the wall after Casino on the way down to Mirabeau Hort. He's just gone through now. So he's currently fifth. Oh, whoops. And that's a Mercedes has planted itself across the track. So Gibbs will reset himself back to the pits as well. He's at Neptune in sixth position, as you can see in the overlay as well. 1:32.880. So keeping an eye on the overlay to see if there's any major position changes. You can see these live as well. So then, coming up to halfway through the session. Apologies, I am moving things around again. That's why the stream has stopped. There we go. We are live again, and oh, I've done it again. I'm sorry. I do wholeheartedly apologise for continuity starting and stopping the stream. That should be all of it now, I promise you. We should now be underway. So currently looking at Seri. We were looking at Seri before he reset himself to the pit lane. So then, 7 minutes remaining as we see a very battered Z4 come roaring down the start-finish straight. Now that looked like it was Reload that just left the server. Hopefully he will reappear. Jan Decoy has reappeared and was kicked from the session as well. Interesting. So Jan Decoy obviously still having some issues. Hopefully he will be able to join us. Had a great start in last week's race at Sakito, as well as known as Suzuka. It's an interesting camera actually. Whilst whoever we're looking at is in the pit lane, we actually get to see those starting a run. So Jan Decoy having some difficulty getting back into the session. I'll actually turn the map off at the stage to see who we can find. Gepard currently in pole in the Z4. Z4, that's a Mercedes, beg your pardon. I'm assuming that is that the SLS or... Unfortunately, I can't tell the difference between the SLS and the AMG. That's the AMG version. I'm not sure he was actually running the SLS version in this season. So Mercedes, AMG in the top spot so far. For those joining the stream, thank you very much for coming on board. If you have any questions, any comments, please feel free to fire away. That's like Gepard giving himself some space, and no, he has put himself in the pit lane, and he is away again. We just saw Branderos there coming down the start-finish straight. We know it's him. He's the only M3 runner. Klavotsky up to second position. Look how close it is. Just 3/10 between pole and second at the moment, but he's got a little bit of a gap in front of him with a roof and a McLaren behind him. I think that's Esteban Viso in the McLaren, 2 cars back. Not sure who that is in the roof. Several cars run that same livery. Gibbs, I know, was one of them. Oops, sounds like he just tapped the wall there. Oh, as did Klavotsky coming around Portier into the tunnel. So let's just follow Klavotsky then through his lap. Assuming he's on a hot lap, we'll see if he changes position as he comes down to the Nouvelle Chicane. Someone in front of him. Now this is a night race, as you can see. It's fairly relatively dim lights, as dim as I am witted, through the swimming pool complex. Oh, that's one of the roofs getting in Klawutski's way. Are they going to bail out of it? Or, oh, blimey, that could be holding Klawutski up there. As they just come through Raskas, down to the final. Oh, that was a little twitchy there. So that roof probably going to be starting a hot lap. Does Klawutski go up? He improves his time just, but not his position. He remains in the second. Oh, there was a big old thump on the barrier there. Third is still Branderos. Where is he? He's just coming to finish his lap. Does he improve on his third position? 132.158. Let us see. Does he improve? He does not. So he either begins a lap or he remains where he is. Up through Beau Rivage he comes now. El Nano, fourth in the McLaren. Oh, bit of impact there with what could possibly be Klawutski in the blue livery Z4. Not what you want on this circuit at any given time, being how narrow it is. So El Nano back in the pits, just about has time to do an outlap and complete a qualifier, but really not a lot in it. Not a lot in it at all. Oh, well avoided there, El Nano. No doubt was communicated that someone was on a fast lap and managed to get out of the way of whoever that was that came flying through. Oops! Trying to take a very straight line there through Beau Rivage, through Massenet. There's Casino Square. Ooh, quite wide. Oh, that was very close. You're always permanently close to the barriers here at Monaco. Mirabeau. Lowe's Hairpin, or otherwise known as the Grand Hotel Hairpin. Through the lower part of Mirabeau. Portier. Into the tunnel. Oh, more clunking going on. It doesn't look like Jan Deco has been able to solve his lag issues. It's such a shame. Through, oops. I mean, he's not. El Nano's not on a hot lap. It's going to be very, very tight to get this lap done and his hot lap complete in the next 2 minutes, but he may well just be able to do it. Through the swimming pool. More clunking of barriers going on. He's got a fair bit of open track ahead of him. Through Raskas. Into the final two turns. I think there's a Z4 ahead of him. So here comes El Nano then to start his final hot lap. Ooh, unless he pulls off an absolute stonker, he's going to be very narrowly denied. But let's follow him through then. A lap of this circuit. Let's just go on board with El Nano. Behind him will do. Up through Beau Rivage then. Round Massenet. Casino. Back downhill towards Mirabeau. He's just been demoted to 5th position with a new pole sitter of worn tyre. 1:38.12. Goodness me, what a lap. Good 7 or 8 tenths there. Difference. The top 4 in the pits not continuing to set any laps. So El Nano, can he dislodge any of the top 4 positions? Through the tunnel he comes. So worn tyre, currently the only person to break. 1:30. Oh, that looked very deep into the Nouvelle chicane. To back. Very easy to misjudge that. It's a slightly off camber left-hander into the swimming pool complex now. Every braking. Oops, it's a roof facing partly the wrong way. Up towards Raskas. Nicely done, so close to the barrier as he comes in. Is he going to complete this lap? 5 seconds to get to the line. This is going to be so close. Is he going to do it? No, he was just denied. 1 second away from completing that particular hot lap. And hello to you, sir. I don't know quite how you pronounce your name. Is it Blakey? I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. Apologies for getting that wrong. But hello, welcome to the stream. So then, your pole sitter is a worn tyre, followed by Jepar, Klawutski, Branderos, El Nano. Damn it, I didn't read those positions off before the practice session began. So this is the warm-up then, 5 minutes warm-up for the race itself. Who is coming out on track? We've got a couple of cars coming out. See if we can pick one up. Well, there's our pole sitter. Warm tyre is leaving the pits. Here he is in the Aston Martin. Stream keeps on buffering. Apologies for that. I'm not sure what I can do to particularly resolve that at this point. I'm just going to have a quick. I'm just going to change something quickly to see if I can resolve that buffering for you. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to whilst it's going. Bear with me just a second. It is going to hold. It was actually something I meant to do before starting. Okay, so let's see. Hopefully that will make a bit of a difference. If it doesn't, I'm afraid there's not really anything else I can do. So we're back on board with worn tyre now. You'll have to let me know whether that resolves the stream issue. If not, I will have to try and sort it out for next week. Apologies, the stream stuttered very slightly then. So we're just following one tyre through the tunnel then. Oh, my windows are all wrong again. Sorry, that was me pausing the stream again. So, worn tyres just come through New Voucher Cane. Oh, he's getting out of someone's way. Okay. Worn tyre trying to take his own line through to back, it would seem. And is facing the wrong way. Unusual. Relo is in the pits. 3147. El Nano in the McLaren. Avoiding the rear-facing worn tyre. Attila. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to see you in qualifying, sir. Apologies for that. In the roof. Zip Plumber has parked. Where has he parked himself? Looks like he's down by the harbour. He is. He's up by Raskas. So, he's put himself in the pits. There's myself, Mr. Alcon. Didn't get to see you at all, I'm afraid. And Aleste. People are leaving the session, it looks like, and hopefully going to be rejoining in time for the race. He's at Neptune. Coming through Raskas, and that's again a rear-facing McLaren. Mass DCR, hello Dutchy, thank you for the heads up on that one. Looks like we're having a bit of a mass disconnection problem, so it could be that the stream may have to be halted until this server issue is going on. Thank you for the heads up on that one, like I say, but we'll see what happens whilst people are still going. So he's at Neptune coming up Rivage through Massenet again. I'm just keeping an eye on the attendance list, as you can see, the standings overlay rather. Through Casino comes Neptune, down to Lowe's. One tyre is lost. I was saying, he was ended up facing the wrong way earlier on in the stream, as you probably noticed. Now it looks like our pole sitter is not back in the server, so it could be that we have a potential server problem here. We've lost a good 4 or 5 cars from the running so far. But we will see. We will see. Now looks like everyone is leaving this particular server, so just a disconnection. Well, assumedly the server then is going to be rehosted because there's only a minute to go until the session ends. So we'll have to see what goes on here. I'm assuming that, as we did have a little bit of a server problem last week, unfortunately that is the nature of things. EZ Neptune's still going. So is everyone going to return to this server, or is one being rehosted? It will restart. Okay. Thank you for the heads up on that one, Dutchy. It's very much appreciated. I'm just going to take this moment to... there's a door behind me I need to close, so bear with me just a moment, please, listeners. Listeners and viewers, I'll be right back. And I doth return. Manual start and rearrange of the grid. Oh yes, I have heard of this particular situation going on. So Wow, this would be a rather much shorter race if it only included these 6 people. Bear in mind one of them is me, and I don't have my wheel plugged in, so I'd have to try and drive on a pad. Tell you now, that's not going to happen. There we go, there are the 5. And my car's even facing the wrong way. Just in case anybody does decide to move around, I am out of people's way. Oh, hello Enzo. I didn't notice your name in the list. So there we go. Those are the only 4 now cars remaining on. No problem, Dutchie. See you again soon. Neptune, Aleste, Mr. Alcon. Well, what I'm going to do here, folks, is I'm just going to pause the stream and the recording until this server issue is resolved, as there's no knowing how long this is going to go on for. So apologies for this, ladies and gentlemen, but that is technology for you. It is this sort of thing unfortunately happens. So I shall resume the stream and the recording once this server issue is resolved. So by all means, please return to me, and I shall be back as soon as this is resolved.